Hey loves, it's your girl DeeDee and welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another reaction video. Now this comes from a woman who is 38 years old. She's being asked the question if it's a red flag for her to be 38 and single. I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think. Comment, like, subscribe.
Donations.
Y'all know what it is. Hit that notification bell. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Here we go.
How old are you?
How old do you think I am?
28?
I like that. I'll be 38.
Are you single?
I am, yes.
Do you think it's a red flag that you're single at 38?
I think it could be a red flag, yeah. I'd say that guys would maybe think that there's something wrong with me, but I don't think that.
But if there wasn't anything wrong,
yeah,
why don't you have a man?
I'm honestly waiting for the right one. I feel like, so I'm a Christian, so I feel like God's held me in like a hidden place for a while, so I haven't really found the right one yet, but I think it's coming.
Do you ever feel like you're running out of time to have kids?
Absolutely. It's just funny that I'm talking about this because I was actually thinking about it. Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely something I think about.
Now, you know, at least she's forthcoming. You know what I mean? She's not combative or anything. I respect that. I like that because a lot of times you see people get with attitude so much to the point where you see a woman who's actually presentable and talking in a nice way. She doesn't look angry or anything. You have to point that out. But I do think, yeah, the older you get, the more of a red flag it could be. It doesn't mean that it's an attack on your person, but it does mean that something went wrong. Something is not right, because especially when we talk about Christian people, always people, you know, people who are Christians, then they should know more than anyone what it is and how it should go and what it should be. That the fact that you're supposed to be wives and, you know, and then start your families. And typically you do that when you're younger. And I think the problem is a lot of women really thought they had a lot of time. That's a fact. A lot of women think that they have time to do it, that, oh, I don't have to rush into it. I don't have to really prioritize a man and family. I'll just start my career, and because I need to work and need to make money. So they're going to start their careers and they're going to work. And when you get entrenched in that, years are passing. And when you look around, you're 35 years old, you don't have a husband, you don't have any kids. And so I think a lot of women prioritize the workforce and their careers first because of society, making women think that that's something they have to do. Not really thinking they really need a man or a family. They'll get to it, but you need to get this job, get this career going, make this money, because everybody's talking about you got to get to the bag. So I think women are pressured into doing that first, as opposed to prioritizing a husband and family. And you can always go back to school, you can always go back to work, but you will still have your family. I'm an example of that. You know, so I try to tell women, listen, if you focus on getting your husband and family started, then you can always go back to school and get a career and start a business. But it'll be a lot easier because once you've gotten your kids don't stay small forever. They grow up, they go to school, and you can start focusing on certain things that you want to accomplish for yourself. But so many people are focused on careers so much, they're not even thinking about the husband and the family. In fact, a lot of these people don't even consider marriage. They're just like, oh, I can have a child. Whenever I want to have a baby, I'll just have a baby. They're not even thinking about a man. They don't even think a man is really that important until they start to get in their late 30s, 40s, and then they realize, oh, I do need a man. I need kids. I want a family. I want to have this. But then you realize you're getting too old. Then there starts to be complications when it comes to getting pregnant and carrying a baby. All of that is something you have to factor in. Now, every woman that's older doesn't have fertility issues, but it's definitely something you have to consider, because we know that the older we get, you know, those eggs can start to dry up and it could be a problem. So you have to consider that. Even if it's not the outcome for you, you still have to consider that that could be an issue the longer you wait. So what should you do? That's where I say prioritize marriage younger if you can. Prioritize it, focus on that. Because if you want a family, that's the only way that you're going to be able to get it. If you wait too long and then your options start to dwindle, then usually this is when women run into an issue and they find out that they have fertility issues, or they just can't carry a baby, or they just can't find a man to even get a baby with. So this is where the Ebony K. Williams thing comes in, where she got to go get a surrogate and pay for all of that and just have a child by yourself. So that means your options are less. You have less options. So you have to take matters into your own hands and do something else because you waited too long thinking you had all the time in the world. So I do think it's a red flag, but let's continue the rest of this. Here we go.
If you could go back, would you have stuck it through with one of your exes to try and make it work?
No, because I trust God, and I feel like there's better and there's more.
But if you keep saying there's better, I mean, you're 38 now, you know?
Yeah.
What happens when you're 45?
I might just be single and childless and happy.
And see, that's what they want to believe. I'm a woman and I know how women think. We're going to justify things to make it seem right. But the fact of the matter is, if you wait and you realize you ain't got no man and you 49, you don't have no kids, that's going to bother you. Because if it's something that you've been wanting all this time and you missed the mark on that, you're not going to be happy with that. There's too many women out here crying already, talking about they don't have kids and they don't have a husband, they don't have family. They want it, but they thought they had time and their focus wasn't on it. And so when you run out of time, you didn't think you were going to run out of time. Nobody thinks they're going to run out of time. When you're young and attractive and you're out here either doing your own thing or getting your career started, you're not thinking you're going to run out of time. You think everything is going to work out in the time that you want it to work out in. And it don't really go that way majority of the times. You know, there might be some people who get it their way, but that's not the majority. And so bottom line, it does become a red flag because men are looking like, hey, men who want marriage, it doesn't take them that long to find the woman that they want to marry her. And they usually want their wives kind of young. They're not just starting trying to get a wife at when she's 38 and 40 and all that. They're not starting just then. They're trying to get their wives so they can start their families and keep it moving. It's interesting how men will move at a quicker pace than the women, and women have a shorter span of getting that family than a man. But it's just quite the opposite how women think they have all the time when men actually have more time than they do. Most men could make babies well into their 40s, some 50s. Look at these men having babies in their 60s. That is not common for women at all. It's happened, but it's very rare that women in their 50s and 60s are having babies. It's a small amount of women who actually have done it. And usually it's a one-off. You get that one child and that's it. But if you're looking to have a family, you want 3, 4, 5 kids. I'm just saying, some people want big families. That is going to be hard to do when you're hitting 40. So yeah, I do think it's a red flag, but I think this whole idea of chasing the bag is part of the reason why and this independent lifestyle is part of the reason why women are waiting. And then when it started catching up to them, they try to rush and try to get into something, and that usually a lot of times don't work because some women get desperate and they're like, oh, I really want kids and I really want a husband. But then they start, some people just get desperate and they start picking a guy that's not really a good for them, and then that don't work out. Then you find yourself just kind of coasting through all of that and then just end up by yourself. So, I don't know if they're going to be happy per se. I think women want you to believe that. But when you're in it, it doesn't seem like such a happy place if you know you wanted a whole family and a husband and all of that, and it just didn't pan out for you. So listen, y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Y'all know what it is. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.